And I believe I am live. Hello everybody, I'm Errichto and this will be stream of me Upsolving Google Hashcode 2020 finals, which were yesterday on Saturday, April 25th or something like that. My team didn't, I didn't do well in that contest. I made a bug in the middle of a contest and our solution because of that was very bad. You here see some drawings. I should have a chat, but I don't know if it will work or not. So far looks like it doesn't work. And there's also this. Hello Jojo in the chat. Say hello Joseph. Hello Joseph. So it's this competition. There should be some link in the description. And first I will talk about the problem statement. It's here. Then I will tell you what we did during the contest. And that will take in total maybe 5-10 minutes. This is the statement. And then the main part of the stream, I will go for a few hours, will be to solve this problem in some better version. I have Genie here. This is my code. This is some other code. I will keep improving on that. 4 hours yesterday weren't enough to try even maybe 1/3 of ideas I had. So this thing still doesn't work. Come on. I see the chat on the side. Just Restream should hold a combined chat. I will turn it off and on. Maybe that will help. Maybe Restream changed their system. Oh. Turning this off and on at least imported Twitch messages. I will be fine. Hello Proxy King, Yaniv, Sans, Mikołaj and Ayush on YouTube. Hello everybody, I see the chat. First, the statement. If you don't know, Google Hashcode is you're given one problem. There are up to 4 people in a team and you need to solve this problem as well as you can. This category of problems is called optimization or approximation problems, where nobody knows a polynomial solution that will just solve it in the best possible way, and you need to keep improving. The problem was this. There is a grid with some mounting points for robot arms or snakes. They behave a little bit like snakes, and you need to keep moving this arm, expand it, and for a long time now you see my face instead of the screen. There is a grid like this, and there are mounting points for robot arms. You can keep expanding and retracting, shrinking this arm. There will be multiple arms on the grid, and they need to get to some particular cells to collect items and to finish a task. A task consists of several goal points. There are some points on the grid that you need to reach them in this order, then you will finish the task. There's some example here what happens. There are 2 robot arms that start over here. The bottom one will move up first. This one will move right first. This is the situation after first step. After second step, they expand even more. Then this one, the top one, collects 1 item and gets back. This way also, once it shrinks down to 0, the second arm is able to, here in step 3, reach the top column, and then even reach this one. And so on. You need to basically finish tasks. Also, each task has some score. How to submit code in Hashcode? Well, you need to send it to the judge system. I will interact with chat just a little bit, not a lot because I want to mainly solve a problem. On my YouTube channel Errichto 2, you can see the screencast from actual contest as screencast of me creating this solution. But I was also in a team. The other teammates in particular did some special solutions to 2 tests. Because there are 6 tests, you can download them and analyze on your own. Maybe I will show you. This was our shared Google Doc where Carol analyzed tests and showed some statistics about them. In particular, those are path you should make to complete a task. This is, what else? Yeah, this is every test with showing 3 random tasks. What path you would need to make to complete this task. This was test F, very specific one where everything was on the border. Yeah, those are goals are in this test just on the border. The orange points represent cells to which you need to get. But those are more normal tests. There was also visualization in the judge. If we go here, if you go to the scoreboard, the top score from the contest was 6.7 million. We got 14th place, a very bad one, below 4 million points. Just after the contest ended, I found a mistake in my BFS. I can show you that mistake in a moment. Then we jumped to 5 million points, which is still far from the top. It's not that if we found a mistake 5 minutes before the end, then we would win. Not even close. My mistake was quite simple. And that was in BFS. I added this. If I didn't get to the final position, then return empty path, because BFS found a path from one cell to another to say, okay, this robot arm will now do this path. But I forgot when adding this, before that everything was fine. Before that I had asserted that I found a path, but then I added something that I needed to handle multiple robot arms. I wanted to say, if you cannot get there, try some other task or try waiting, not rushing there. Because, you know, two robot arms cannot cross each other, like in Snake. You basically need to handle multiple snakes, but also they have all starting points. And here there is very important piece of iterating over visited cells in a queue of BFS and marking them as unvisited. A fix for all the bugs was to copy this and also paste it here before this auto return. Every time when I return from BFS, a moment before I should clear visited. So this is wrong code, and now this is correct code. Sadly, stupid mistake, you know, in such a long code. If my solution was very bad, I would realize that something is wrong. I would look for a mistake a long time before the end of the competition, but I just thought that I need to improve the logic. How long is the code? 400 lines. And I think I will start from cleaning the code. I have 2 instances. Pro was what I had close to the end, but then I got back to some earlier version, a simpler one, Pro 2, where I tried to debug this one. And as I clean maybe this code, I have a GitHub repository and I will publish at least some part of it after the stream. Do I want to refresh this? Yeah, just only this can be different. Okay, never mind. Oh, I know what I did. I kept, after the contest, I spent a few more minutes to choose proper seed and stuff like that. I will go through this code, and as I clean it, I will also explain what happens, because right now it's quite ugly. Can I remove something? maybe from the top. You will be my yellow duck for debugging, but this code works. We have some global variables like height and width of the grip, the number of robot arms, possible mounting points, tasks, and turns, like length of the game. Total score, if I complete a task, I increase the total score by score of a task. It's here. Every task is described by some sequence of cells. This thing doesn't matter. I have a function for Manhattan distance between two cells. Function to check if a cell is inside the grid, or maybe I try to go outside of a grid. Don't need this. I pre-computed some moment neighbors of every cell, because there are some forbidden cells on the grid. I cannot enter those. Delta. This is just something useful in finding neighbors. IsMount. I don't remember if I use here isInt or maybe bool. Let's try to find out. IsMount. This is just a Boolean value, so I can change this to vector of Boolean values. Not this. IsMount means that it's a forbidden cell because it's a possible mounting point. Compile. Something wrong. What? Assert was not declared? What did I do? Somebody changed my includes? What's up with that? Something happened in the repository apparently. In Google CodeGen we have different UI. Like I will not explain to you UI of hashcode. Come on. One moment. It's not that easy to stream. Okay. You can remove the vertical line from Genie. People are so bothered with this line. This is what happened. This vertical line that bothers everybody apparently. It just is some, position. That means I don't want to write past this thing. I think it's at 60 characters, no, 72, and it's quite reasonable. It's a good rule of thumb not to cross it. It doesn't mean that I don't cross it, like you see here, but I try to avoid that. If you are so bothered, and I saw comments about that on YouTube, I will remove it. I guess here, scrap search, interface editor. I will use Google Genie, height, vertical line. Preferences editor, display. I don't see it. Oh, this. Apply. Here we go. No vertical line. Just when I don't see something, remember that chat is like 10 seconds delayed. So still it will take me a moment to realize what is happening. Okay, I will keep explaining some parts of the code. This says a cell is forbidden. This is complicated. I will explain it later. I don't use that. This means some tasks will be erased. BFS gets starting cell, ending cell, and the current turn. Because things change in time. We need to remember when every cell is available. it finds a path, shortest path from one cell to another. Arm, every arm remembers its mounting point, the starting point. A stack, it means how is it expanded right now. Moves remembers what to print, and this also is needed to print something. There are some helper functions to move forward and to retract. Current turn, why is it here? Turn is 0. I don't use it. Some constructor. Do I use me? I think I don't. This is like the current cell. Solve. That's the main part. I will not touch it for a moment. Let's hide it. Recompute neighbors. Do I use recompute neighbors? I don't. Like right now it's only compute neighbors. I wanted to forbid new cells. So this is just compute neighbors. Put an assert that it's empty and do that. What happens in main function? We read the input. In particular, we have mounts, tasks, read the tasks. I don't use that. There is some seed because I experimented with that. I randomly shuffled the order of mounting points. Here I tried to choose mounting points to be far away from each other. I will get back to this later for sure. This is some limit of arms to start. I will remove that later. Compute neighbors. This main part, it's supposed to do this. While true, find an arm that is available first, that will be free, like doing nothing first, and assign some task to it. While true. No, don't do this. This is some debug. Find the best arm, so the one that minimize size of moves, the number of moves already done, so the current turn. If didn't found, then break. Otherwise, if what? Erase who? Always erase. Oh, here I wanted to pass some information. I will remove it. Solve returns true if it managed to assign a task. If this is false, then erase. And I will now need to change solve a little bit. One can remove stupid debug. Useful arms. At the end, I need to just find arms that do anything. Now in solve, in a moment after I'm done with this function, I will show you some visualization of what my program does, because it's available on the website. Is anyone able to upsolve the solution or participants only? I'm afraid that participants of Google Hashcode only. You don't need to qualify to the finals, but so any participant on the qualification round can, but sadly it's not that everybody can. But the very good news is, they announced that yesterday, all past problems, I hope all past problems, some past problems at least, will be available on kaggle.com. Hashcode will port their past problems on Kaggle. This way you could practice them the whole year. And I think it's a very good choice if they didn't want to handle that themselves. Now remove this and resolve compilation errors. The print, I just did that in last minutes to debug something. Okay. Let's see some visualization of what happens in B. Yeah, I had troubles with this visualization during the contest. Can I do something like that? Okay. Play continuously. You see a snake at the bottom. In this test, there is a limit of just one robot arm, and this is why it's optimal to just, move like a snake through the whole grid just once. I heard that an arrow right works. Does it? Oh, enter works, and then it's faster. So this is our solution for task B. I can do this. One of my teammates, Kostka, implemented this logic. It doesn't work at all for any other test. If you need to handle multiple arms at the same time, and tasks aren't just here, also a task consisted of a single element. So it's not that you need to go through a grid in multiple directions, like go here, go there, and so on. I think it's quite nice to look at this. And if we see C, something happen. I don't even know if something is happening or not. But there are now multiple snakes on the grid. And they need to move quite a lot. Okay, this should be better. Multiple colors. Yeah, this will be better. Every snake is in different color now. Show assembly points. I don't need that. Show traces. Doesn't matter too much. So this test isn't that easy, because robots will often try to move past another robot's territory. And this is that strange test where everything is on the boundary. Also, we had a special solution for that, but I heard that if one does a good general solution, then it will work both for those special tests B and F. We did this? Yeah, I think we did. I would say that E is best to look at. Nothing happens? I don't know. Now it's time to go through the function solve. What does it do? Asserts that stack size is 1, so we just start at the start of the mounting point. It's not that we are expanded partially. Those are forbidden. Those are forbidden tasks that I know I cannot do them. Remember moves, because I might want to decide, oh no, I'm not doing that. Best task, if forbidden, then continue, otherwise do this. I compute maximum length, total length. I want to estimate how good a task is. And for that, I use a formula score of a task divided by length I need. And length I estimate with Manhattan distance. In fact, I should run BFSs to know the exact total length. But just judge to choose the best task, I will use this and that's it. Mount. And I do that starting from mount because every time I retract. Cool. If this. This is valid. Now to do a task, I go through goals, through those cells I need to visit in this order. I run BFS from starting cell to this thing. I go like that. Then this means to retract. I hope that's the word, retract, to get back to 0. If didn't find a path, then roll back the changes. Stack resize 1. Stack is already of size 1. If exceeded the number of turns, then also roll back the changes. Else, if didn't exceed, then really do this task. Tasks done, push back ID of this task. Total score increased by task score. Erase. Yeah, this task is no longer available for anybody. And moves. When can. And when can is an array that says when for the last time this cell was visited. If a robot arm visits some cell from time 10 to time 15, I want to say up to moment 15, this cell is forbidden, not available. TMP is max of this, yeah, doesn't matter too much. True. Cool. This should be a bit better. I will now check, remove this randomization because I'm not really using that too much. And limit for arms is stupid too. This is just count arms. Save this to be out. Let's also submit C. Should it be so slow? My solution is pro2.cpp. I just want to make sure that my current code works. This seems to be slow. Might mean that it went into a while loop. Let's submit just to be alone. Details, not details, insights. 200 out of 1000 tasks have been completed. Blah, blah. 1 out of 1 robotic arm have tasks assigned. This is that special test with just one arm. Visualization. Play continuously. And we can see quite nicely what my algorithm simply does. Black points are mounting points. I cannot enter those. This is mounting points, and every time I have some goal, I just go there, shortest path using BFS, and then retract. My first thing I planned for today is to not always retract to 0. Actually, I implemented something for that during the contest, but it didn't seem to work. But it was after I made my bug in BFS. So it was impossible to make it work. Now I can either copy something from pro.cpp, that thing I wrote in the last 2 hours of the contest, or I can write it from scratch. I will decide in a moment. ICPC t-shirt? Yeah, it's related to that. It has colors of ACM. It says run, research, simulate, and run. It's from some, I don't know if it's not from IMTech competition or Codeforces. Let's rewind this a little bit. Now my snake will try to visit some further cells. It takes some more time to go. Did it compute C and D? D was done. I used 100 arms and got the score of 1 million. And by the way, during the contest, if we see here, on D we had score of only 600,000 instead of 1 million, and that was much better solution, and I spent a lot more time on that. Plus I tried different seeds, different mounting points, but it was about a mistake in BFS. That sometimes it blocked everything in the future. I didn't unmark visited, so no future BFS could find a path. Apparently C is quite slow. Maybe because every time I go through all the tasks. Oh, C was done. And C has just a score of 600,000. Is that the best score we have now? Not that much worse. I will submit those two and then improve my solution. C.out, D.out. It's quite annoying that I cannot submit zip with all the tests. I need to every time choose C.out, D.out. As I'm Polish as you are, how do you recommend studying C++? Some course in the internet? I don't think my source of learning from 10 years ago matters. I'm quite sure this is B. I want visualization of... I still think this is B. What is happening? Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I claim that this visualization was also laggy during the contest. Interesting. Maybe refreshing will help. Something very interesting happened here, because robots understand to some degree what is available. Why they do not retract at the end? Or do they? This is, what am I looking at? D? Yes, that was D. In D, let's print at the end stack size of every arm. And can I easily improve the speed? BFS will take more time. If you need some links, then they are in the description, at least of YouTube video. I don't know if I put them on Twitch. Also in Twitch, is category all right? A creative RL. I want to be programming, please. Nope. Sorry. Is that done? Yes. Every stack size seems to be equal to 1. Then I believe visualization is wrong. I hope so. The visualization, it left like traces of robots. Let's analyze some particular robot. Let's say this orange one on the top. It moved to the right, then to the left, and it stayed here? I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, for sure something here is suspicious, but I don't know if it's my fault or not. But the score is, I think, quite nice. My choices are to speed up things, to investigate what I just saw, or to implement some logic for not always getting back to the initial starting place. What about first investigating this? Seems most important. This was D. And here I'm also clicking at D. What I can do is I can look at the output. And for every robot to see if they retrace their steps. How many U and down are there? Is there equal number? U, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's stupid. Maybe I should have a checker. I didn't write function print. Let's make sure it is reasonable. For everything it moves, it moves. Assert that mount is equal moves.back. This should be good. Mount. If this assert is satisfied, then I think the visualization is stupid and that's it. What is the time complexity for this solution? Time complexity doesn't matter in optimization problems. The time matters. If your solution takes up to a minute, it's okay, let's say. If it takes an hour, it's too much. But you can run on your own computer. This is done. Now, let's try not to always get back to the initial position. In ARM solve. Iterate over goals. And in Pro, I have something for that. In Pro, I iterate over iterator of this. And I had here some logic by comparing two consecutive positions. But I experimented a lot with that and I'm not happy with what happened here. As I said, this didn't work anyway because there was a bug in some other place. Can you please teach us how to test and debug your programs in Linux? Test by running it for any small test. That's a summary, let's say. For sure, I will not focus on this today. Go. This is a very bad thing. I don't want to always do that. This is index of a goal. Right now it should be equivalent I. It is IG. Find a path, follow that path, but I don't always want to do this. If what can I say? The easiest thing will be have some path. It is remembered in a stack. I actually know what some other team did, but I don't want to just copy because I already heard some solutions of the best teams. I want to kind of say if I am nearby the goal, then just go to that directly, to the next thing. If I'm not the last, and then use some special logic. What will be that logic? And also if I also had that in the other code, if this modulo 5 is not 4. This means once every 5 steps, for sure I will get back to 0, not to get stuck for a long time. If this, then only retract while it makes you closer to the goal. What about that? Oh. Well, this. And a simple Manhattan distance from stack end, this is second last element, to task goals of ig plus 1. If this is smaller than distance from me to that task, stack back, and this moves back by 1. I want to first run it on test B. $309, and without that, oh, but I anyway do this. I want to say else. Nothing changed, and this is very suspicious. Because in test B, there are no, every task consists of just one goal. Sadly, I need to run it for something else like D. And in D, I believe something will fail. Start is not goal, failed. It means that sometimes I try to move from place I'm already there. I know how to fix that. In BFS, if my current cell is equal to the goal, then just continue. I hope then just continue. Different thing happened. Assertion stack size is equal to 1 failed at line 164. Because I want to make sure that after I'm done with going through all the goals within a task, then while there are at least 2 elements in a stack, do that. And I'm still quiet. I'm not sure about this solution. I'm afraid that if I started something, then robot arm can try to visit those cells again in BFS. Submit. Don't expect me today to get some very, very good scores. Yeah, ARM69 tried to get into a cell already occupied by ARM69. We have some self-collisions. And this makes sense. If my robot starting from here, it went like that, then let's say down, 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 and is here. And maybe the goal is over there. And you might think that for sure from here to G, there will be no collision. But there might be some forbidden cells in the middle of that, and then X will first try to move up. So maybe current stack should be some kind of set, and this BFS tries to not enter things from this set. But I don't want to make BFS slower. If it tries to use a set, it will be very bad. I believe that BFS is the slowest part of my solution, at least right now. Then I need to pass on stack. This will hold information if something is right now on a stack. You cannot be on stack. But something like that led me before to a mistake. On stack, resize. Do you use GDB for debugging? I sometimes use GDB to tell me in which line there is runtime error. What's your plan after solving hash code? Go to sleep. On stack. When I move forward, stack throw call is true. When I back, stack off, stack back first, stack back second is false. Does it happen that I move back without this function? Do I ever resize a stack? It happened here. I should do this. And I hope that wherever I return, after doing solve, where do I run solve? Assert arms of who? Stack, that size is equal 1. This will ensure that it isn't left hanging. Well, honestly, I believe that you did well, guys. Just saying, you know, how is it say? What does the saying say? Your appetite grows as you eat more. I think it's a Polish saying, so never mind. If you are good, you want to perform very well and be in the very top. 14th place isn't that good for me. I think I was not here. I was 4th and 6th in the past on the finals. Right, it's at least now valid. And it's worse than that, but I believe that now sometimes I move forward, and will we see it here? Multiple colors. What I want to see? I want to see that something in B. I will see that in... No, I will not see that in B. I shouldn't just take task by task. Maybe this should be even smarter. I don't know. Run this for test E and for test C. Why didn't I submit E? This score for E is quite bad, maybe because the snakes keep going through the grid, and that's bad in this test apparently. But it might be better to always come back. I don't see them continuing the movement. Unless this is another test where every task consists of a single goal. Where did you learn to code? Internet. Why nothing happens here? Do I have some bug? That was visualization of... Oh, I have the best score so far in C. And then let's submit this. But I need to investigate E. Visualization suggests that my snakes stop after like 1/3 of a game. This is C. I think that blue already did something smart. He collected this. Oh, and now he goes there. My logic works. Now blue should get here unless it's divisible by 5 or something like that. He gets there. And now it's stupid to go like that. You should instead retrace a little bit. Cool. As I said, investigate E. Is it true that in the half of a game everybody stops? Seems to be true. Then in E, moves.size. This will tell me how many turns this arm used. Nope. E. I have some statistics. I have internet, but DNS is wrong. It cannot access. Recently, I started using some tools in YouTube so that stop of a stream, some issue with internet, will not cause the video to break. I hope that the same video link still works. In the past, I needed to create a new link. That was very inconvenient. In E, total score was much worse because of this thing with not backing. So what about this? If something is wrong, I had that already, but it was commented. For number of turns in the game divided by 20, wait. There is also an option to wait. I messed up. Why? Repeat that many times. Arms of who moves, push back, arms who moves back. It's possible that there's nothing here. This assumes we are at mount. Still bad. I had this hack that if somebody... What? If you cannot solve, then for that many turns, just wait. Something is wrong with that? GDB Pro2 run on e.in. Backtrack or whatever, brace track 355. Oh, if it's empty, if arms of who empty, moves.empty, who was pushback mount. If you start at 5.5 and you didn't make a move, then waiting means to be at 5.5. I could also just maybe implement a function wait. Yeah, that will be better. Unable to connect to chat, please try again later. Trace to the nearest goal. For now, I'm usually retracing to the starting point. Is there somewhere we can see the problem statement? Good question. On YouTube? Oh. I think no, there isn't such a place, but let me fix that. What is the simplest thing I can do? I can upload to my GitHub. Let me quickly do that. Git add this. I will give you a statement in a moment. It is here. I'm pasting in the chat both on YouTube and on Twitch. Let me know if something didn't work. Google Hashcode website, is it there? I don't know if it's there, like public, because this judge system is only available for use for participants of Hashcode, at least of qualification round. I should have thought about publishing this statement earlier. What was I doing? Yeah, this. If moves empty, moves push back the mount. And for that, for now, I assume that it is anyway the same thing, mount. Worked fine, thank you, reading it now. Cool, you're welcome. And the solution now should take more time. I could pre-compute BFSs. It isn't that good. I could write some heuristic, like A star, I think is a method for that. Now in E I have score of 1 million. Not that bad. And is this with going to the next cell? What am I doing now? No. Now snakes try to move around and sometimes continue the path. but I will generally need to get rid of retracing completely. This is a worse score, but still a reasonable one, and I want to see a visualization. Pro2 e.out. I also got this a lot of time token exception. Refresh. If you are new to a stream, if anybody has just joined, I'm upsolving Google Hashcode finals from yesterday and trying to improve my score. This blue guy did quite some path. So for sure here the issue is with time the drawing becomes very complicated. And I heard a nice hack for this. Yeah, something very stupid happens after some time. The grid becomes crossed with very long snakes. What if I limited length of a path? If path size greater than 50 or just 30. I saw some go all the way around just to get a goal 2 blocks away. I can believe you that this happened. Yeah, at the end, well, it's not optimal for sure. It's not optimal, but at least something is happening. The score improved. And a hack I heard is the following. From time to time, retract all the snakes. Next, retract. Backed. Those are those that got back to the initial thing. Next, back is turns divided by 10. For everybody. Find somebody. If best first is greater equal than backed, then next back. I don't need to remember that in a set. Period. This. Next back plus equal period. And additionally, iterate over everybody and tell each of them to get back to 0. Does that make sense? And I need to wait for everybody to really get back there and only then start again? I know what I need to do. I need to see right now what happens is each of them at some moment they will get back to 0 because I tell them now to get back to 0. I need to find when all get back max of itself and arms of I moves.size. And each of them I tell to wait till that moment. If everybody becomes available at 100 and now it's moment 90, you need to wait for 10 turns. I hope this is correct. Maybe I might need to remove that. Right now this does something strange. It says if you didn't find any goal, then wait for count turns divided by 20. It's something randomish. If this moment is greater than next back, then do that. I don't think what I wanted happened. Hello, Crucial Ori. It's annoying to see hashtags where they don't mean anything, just write in plain text. You're talking about something I did? Oh no, I think it's about some other comment. If somebody is new to the stream, then on my GitHub there is file hashcode 2020 finalround.pdf, and there it's a statement of the problem I'm solving. At 10th of a game, so after 1000 turns, everybody should stop. How is it possible that after half of a game, nobody is moving? Unless all the tasks were done, but I highly doubt it. There is some max score limit. I can get over a million points. Maybe again something wrong with BFS. Hashcode is a team problem. Where is your team? My team shouldn't assist me in all my streams and Upsolving. I will turn on the lights. How about looking for closest points while retracting the snakes? Oh, I should do that, and I will do that in the future. Just, you know, what I have right now is a simple logic, and it has 400 lines. It isn't that easy to write what you think makes sense. Just like in board games or chess, you might think, oh, it's like to write just any bot for chess, you will just say this, and that. In that case, beat opponent's piece or something like that. But it's very time-consuming. This is why I complained yesterday that this contest was just 4 hours. 4 hours wasn't enough to do anything smart, in my opinion. Of course, teams in the top did much better than we did, and they were fast. The speed mattered a lot, really a lot yesterday, like never before. And some people might like it. I will add time command to know how much time it takes my code. And let's say do that for a shorter period of time. After everybody waits like that. Problem looks interesting, wish I joined a stream earlier. Anyway, I started from already some done code from yesterday. So it's not that everybody solved everything from scratch. Also, you can watch later on YouTube from the start. I'm doing something wrong. I maximize when I'll get back. For everybody, I look how many turns he did. Then this is the maximum of those. For everybody in remaining things, do this. Can I remove from remaining? No. This should iterate through all the arms. That many times. Something is fishy here. As I wait, I modify this. Instead, I should do while arms I move size smaller than. Right now, my solution takes half a minute, by the way. And it should take a lot more if this made my code to work. Because it will keep doing something till moment 10,000. Please work, please work. It didn't work better, not at all. Maybe I still have a mistake. Hello Bill in the chat on YouTube. Period is the number of turns divided by 10. What about to make my program faster, to decrease some values? Not really. Can I decrease the number of arms? Yeah, let's do that. I will remove that later. It's just now to test things. Well, now they all got to, not till the end, but worked for quite some time. Let's see if everything seems fine in that case. Where is the judge? Over there. But I'm using 10 arms instead of like 100. Wait, what? Look at the pink guy here. Oh, I wanted to say that he goes in some strange way to get this point. But never mind, he just continued the path. Everything seems reasonable to me. And now just it's harder for them because they need to reach points that are far away. Green, oh, so pink here will be bad for green, I guess. Green got into some ugly pattern. In a moment, he will get into some ugly pattern. And why nobody else does anything? Which turn is it? 7,000. Oh, they got unstuck later. So my logic does work. I think turn 8000 is another one when something should happen. You said earlier that the contest was rather short. Did anyone come up with something really clever during that time, or should there have been more time in your opinion? I think more time. Still, people did quite smart things, but everybody had a lot of room for improvement. Also, keep in mind that some time needs to be spent on things that, for example, I'm doing right now. I'm looking at this visualization and I'm trying to understand why the heck my robots behave like that. They should do something completely else. I mean, at turn 8000, I would expect them to get unstuck. Unless they cannot finish more tasks. That would be very strange. It would be easier if I instead decided about moves turn by turn, than just if turn is divisible by 1000, I would say go back to the base. Who is the best might change, but it shouldn't do anything. Is this written in Java? No, it's C++. Can you put debug logs and see it on the problem UI? No. I have some visualizations made by teammates like this, and I have some tools locally. I don't know if we have anything to visualize what our robots do. For example, this would be in test C. This is some example task you need to make. I'm curious why. What's the reason that somebody is not able to finish any task? Paths are too long? Shouldn't be a case. But remember, when I gave more arms, things stopped moving after like, I don't know, 3000 turns? Can you recommend a C++ book? No, I don't have any recommendation for C++ book. Now things stop after 5000 turns. The score is quite nice. There is a small possibility that all remaining tasks are very hard to finish. I want to see that. Again, I'm not using all possible robots. And here nobody is moving. Let's add a thing. If this assert moves.back, wait a second. Moves.back? Don't I want to say stack.back? Why is that a difference? Assert stack.back is equal mount. Moves push back this. What's the difference between forward and on stack? Should I run function forward? I think I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need that. I hope. At least to my understanding, there is no difference in using the last element of stack and the last used move. How can you type so fast? You can practice fast typing. Internet is your friend. Somewhere I had printing of when can. This is when a cell becomes available. We will see that in a moment, because maybe because of some mistake, cells become unavailable. At least my BFS thinks they are unavailable. I redirected error output to file TMP. We should see it now. All cells become available around turn 5000. So it's fine. At turn like 6000, they are available. Next, let's remove this. And printing how many moves there are, let's add it here before finding useful arms. When does this round end? It ended yesterday. It was just a 4-hour contest. How much time do we have for upsolving before the system closes? 2 weeks or something like that? Does assert statements slow that program runtime? Not by a lot. Asserts are worth it because they can save an hour of my time. How is it possible that some arms used 10,000 cells and some 5,000? What? I can finish only if nobody's remaining. I would expect here to just see. Oh, I understand. I forgot to put a new line. First, everybody gets to 10,000, but most of that was Just waiting without anything smart. Yeah, and then after I removed unnecessary moves before printing, this happens. So nobody after turn 5000 can find anything to do. What's the reason? I should now rename a stream to debugging a code. For everybody, check how many moves they already made. Find the best such things, the minimum number of moves. If this first person is this, then compute when the last person will finish. And for everybody, wait till that moment. Maybe like 2 turns more. Shouldn't matter. If you cannot be solved, if solve returns false, if this can't be done, then that many times add a wait. Just wait some time, maybe later it will be easier. Is input redirection faster than cat x to this? No, I don't think so. Did I leave path longer than something than... Fuck. I'm so stupid. Once I forbid my program to make paths longer than 30. I left it there, so after some time it couldn't find new ones. Now with 30 we have this score, and it seems that they do stuff till the end. Let's try more robots. I don't know if they will behave better. Not really, the score decreased. I can also try to decrease this period of how frequently they get back all to 0. Oh, this is way worse. Now once every 1000 turns, this will happen. What if I don't limit the number of robots? Here I have better score already, but that's not the point. The point is to debug. Why streaming in 360p? Is that the case? YouTube Errichto 2. I will take a look. I see 1080p available. The score is even worse. Let's leave it at 50. Submit that and see the visualization. But the issue was paths become very long. Stream is 1080. Yeah, I also saw a moment ago on the second screen that one can choose 1080. Invalid number of elements found at line 1. I don't print something. Or maybe I submitted and the code was still running. What is this in out? You shouldn't use more than 10,000 turns, I think. What's in print? Close this, close that. The first line should contain just a single number, arms.size. Why are there 4 numbers? Oh, I'm running here D, not E. No, but that shouldn't matter. Isn't it better to set a max length so that the snakes don't have to wait for each other to get back? Yes, I will experiment with that. But the thing is, I didn't understand why they don't take tasks anymore, and the time there's still time. And I discovered a reason. After some time, tasks became impossible because paths would be too long. Why are there 4 lines in the first line? Print does that. What? I don't want to print. Watching on a phone seems YouTube restricted quality for phones. I know nothing about that. Those are not short paths. And from time to time I unstack them. Yeah. Green really needed to do this? When path is returned, what can I do? Go Errichto. Errichto, my new nickname, Errichto. I still feel overwhelmed by this problem. There are so many different things I can do. Should I move turn by turn, which seems dangerous and can lead to deadlocks? Or like cell by cell? I mean, get to that cell, get to that cell. Right now I do task by task. I assign the whole task. It seems that snakes don't always go for the closest box. I choose a task based on some heuristic. And this heuristic is here. It uses Manhattan distance just to estimate. Should be more precise than that. It computes the total length as the sum of distances from the mounting point to that goal. I'm thinking, just thinking now. Let's look at the visualization in the meantime. At least the beginning is nice. When your program works very, very well, then it's so satisfying to watch those animations. In normal programming competitions, your program is fast enough and will produce some big correct output, but that's it. Here, if you write a nice program, you will see its behavior in a drawing, like this one, like this. Red Bull and Shroud's coffee to you. Thank you. I don't know what is Shroud's coffee. I know that Shroud is a streamer. But what is Shroud's coffee? Let me add this. Actually, for a few tasks, I will check how big path I would have. Really, with BFSs, I will compute it. And then I will choose the best task to take, the one that will take me shortest amount of time. Can you have arms wait for another arm to retract so it has shorter path? Yes, I can. But, you know, expressing that logic is quite complicated. Is this an optimization problem? Yes, it is. BF finds a path. Solve. I will actually find best tasks using this simple heuristic. So first, double poor estimate of a task. Right now it's this. Plus equal. Oh, also I will investigate should I look at score or not, because my goal really is to finish all the tasks. Total length plus equal Manhattan distance between starting point and you, return task score divided by total length. And now there will be good estimate. Here I will actually simulate the whole thing. Should I copy paste all of that? Not sure. Best task is max of this. I'm still not using this function. I will run this to make sure the score is still the same. Visualization automatically generated by the program? No, the contest organizers prepared some visualization on the website. Best task, not best task. I will sort tasks. double comma int. I don't know, good tasks. For every task, good tasks is back. Per estimate gives me some measurement of how easy this task should be to finish. Then sort if empty, then break. And this means score bigger, better. So sort decreasingly. And for first few of them, this is Umnik's idea from Codeforces. I think they really tried first 20 tasks. For each of those, I will run this algorithm. Because I don't want to copy paste this and then keep modifying into places. So instead, there will be what I will need to retract. Forward on stack. Moves, memo moves. Also, this can be quite slow. Moves. Let's create a function. Try task. Or do task with a Boolean value for real. If this is false, at the end of this, I will just retract the steps. Maybe it can return something. Yeah, it will return something. Iterate over goals. I think I will get back to the easier version. What about that? Where I go somewhere and then I get back. So this goal roll, if this is the case, continue, can't. This is that easier version, right? Not a problem. What is this? I hope I'm not doing something stupid. Can you briefly review the problem? I did that at the beginning of the stream, but in very, very, very short. You have this grid with moving arms or snakes, and they need to get to some target cells. You can. This is how they keep moving. Here, every color denotes one arm. They have some goals. They keep moving, and they cannot collide with each other, which is very hard to handle. Any mods here? Not really. This is just a casual stream. Okay, this should be fine. Now I will move this to do task. Some unrelated facts. I've recently finished playing Amazing Spider-Man on PlayStation. It was very nice and pleasant. Not the best game in my life, but very, very pleasant game. Well made. Task and true. For real, do it. Can't. Should I basically move this up? Yeah. Not continue. I would say this returns information about how easy this task was to make, or just how much time it took. Let it return how much time it took. And that's a good idea. And it will be -1 if it took forever, let's say. Can't is false. Continue is fine. Break, sure. Get back to 0. If can't, then moves this. Forbidden. Where do I save memo moves? Over here. It should be there. -1 means not succeeded. Not succeeded. And in this single case, return move size minus minimum move size. This is a vector of moves before I'm done with this one. This is after. So the difference is how many moves I made. I shouldn't be able to get over here. Set forbidden not declared. Don't do it there. This is to handle. Count turns is this. All makes sense, no return. I'm still not using that. Task erase. In tasks, I need to find this thing and erase. Let's do it like that for iterate over tasks. If your ID matches with my ID, then really do it to erase tasks begin plus ID. Counters is a very bad variable name because it is global for me. Let's call it time needed. Please work. I just came. Were you successful in improving it? Yes, a little bit. Do I have some better score than I had at the beginning? I don't remember. I think at the beginning of the stream I did get better score. Maybe on C. I think from 700,000 I got to 800,000. But this is not the point. The point is to do something much smarter, and this takes me a lot of time apparently. Finally see you stream. Finally see you in the viewers, Greg Hehe. In Polish, H-E-H-E is called Hehe. I don't know how is it in other languages. The score is worse, so my changes aren't good. I messed something up. iterate over goals of this path forward, get back. If can't, then get back with moves. Stack is already of size 1. If took too many moves, then the same. This is unnecessary after that, but doesn't hurt. Also do this. Tasks done. Total score increased. I believe this is fine, but I'm not entirely sure. Update when can and return the number of moves. Solve. Decreasingly, so it will be, first will be biggest. Time needed. Yeah, those competitions are mainly about finding bugs. Sorry if you expected something else. There's no max possible score because finding the optimal solution lies in exponential time. What is exponential is to write an algorithm that will, for any input in polynomial time, find the best possible thing. But the goal here isn't to minimize the total length or time or something like that. If in some time you're able to do all the tasks, you solved it optimally. And a good solution with multiple heuristics will do that. Similarly, I believe that chess, like writing an optimal algorithm for chess is exponential. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it was done already, or wasn't. For sure it was done for checkers. And still, checkers has, I believe, exponential number of states. I'm cautious about this part. Maybe do it here. Wait, what do I add as forbidden? This. Erase. Something went wrong because my score decreased, and I just thought that I'm moving a piece of code from one place to another. Chess has only been solved completely if there are less than 7 or 8 pieces on the board, I think. Okay. But maybe let's compare it with this thing. Here I have some actual tests. It would be like playing against human. We can make a program, computer program that will win against human. Doesn't mean that it is optimal, but it was good enough. Similar thing in these tests. If I solve all the tasks in a test, all those missions, then I will get maximum score. Nothing changed. I got a message. Nothing important. A reminder, I'm trying to understand why the score decreased after I moved a piece of code from one place to another. Forbidden. Sort decreasingly. So first we'll have maximum score. Well, let's think if anything changes if I do this. But now it should be increasingly, so the first will have minimum score. This should be worse, right? I maximized before. Also, why is it 4 times slower now? That's suspicious too. And here it took 12 seconds on the same test. Shroud says, "Hi, do you remember me? I'm your very old viewer. Was there Shroud in my audience in first streams? There might be. I might remember you, but I'm not 100% sure. I think so. That's a quite unusual nickname. Yeah, now the score is worse. And this means a moment ago it was better. Indeed, I find the maximum. I'm removing a wrong task or something? Do you take donations? No, I'm not. You can read my FAQ in the description. I said something about that. Here is that. If you have some general questions about me or programming, a lot of them are answered in frequently asked questions. Links are below the video, below the stream. Is it correct to save moves over there? Should be. Can't is true. If can't, then do that. Is there something global I change by making moves? I do forward. But later I do this, and back cancels the onStack variable. Or maybe the score decreased because I modified the logic for this, but I don't think so. Let's try with that. I think it will only be worse. I make a very comfortable living as a software engineer, but I don't have time for one of my true passions, which is algorithm competitions. What should I do? Maybe think about decreasing your the full-time thing to 4/5, like 80% of full-time. Your employer likely will not want that, but some argument is that you will be more effective. I mean, more efficient. Then you have more time, a few more hours a week for that. I'm that guy who didn't used to put space in emojis. Yes, I do remember you, Shroud. Now I do. Still, it's button slow. How is it possible? I'm sorry that it takes me so much time to just look at this single issue. But there's nothing I can do about it. in a moment I might just move this back. You should work less and give up your life level. That's some answer. Tasks erase. Tasks begin plus this. Yeah, we are removing this one because it's done. Why did I use only 39 arms? Was it always the case? I'm limiting them at 50. Then why only 39 were used? They seem to be used, all of them. Maybe some of them didn't do even a single task. But was it a case back then when my solution was faster? No, 50 tasks, 50 arms were used. Something is not equivalent. When you work 90 hours a week, it's a real problem. Yeah, sure. Don't work 90 hours a week unless you want to do it just for like 2-3 years because you're starting your business. Or maybe you're saving money to buy a house. I will save this as equivalent pro2 CPP. I will move this back, I think. I don't know what happened. Should I use Ctrl Z a lot of times? Yeah, I will move this to state from before moving to this function. Maybe something was wrong with sorting. What about that? Good tasks. Dot begin. Oh, good tasks of 0. Dot second. First sort. This should work in 12 seconds and give much more than 500,000 points. Yeah, it does. Now this is some reasonably working code, and I will move this part again. What could go wrong? Iterate over this. I also moved this, memo moves. Is that bad? Should be fine. First, let's just move that. break can't. This shouldn't be good estimate. This should be, let's call it TMP or not working. It will get a task. By reference, a variable can't as well, because it might modify it. Not working of task. Can't. Should still work in 11 seconds and give me 900,000 points. Seems to work. If can't, then continue. In my incorrect code, maybe I didn't do that continue. Well, this does continue. Time needed is -1. If -1 was returned, I add to in forbidden and I repeat. Move this there. Forbidden insert task.id. Did I have a check for the number of turns in this function, do task? Yes, I have that. Everything seems fine. Continue, continue, return true. Do I return true? Where do I return true here? That was an issue, wasn't it? Yes. This is it. The score slightly improved, so something is done differently. Maybe it's because of this. Sometimes retract, and in this one I don't retract. Okay, that explains things. Pro 2. Now we have this do task. But do task tells me how much time something would take. And I can say in this do task for real, return -1, else do this only if it's for real. Tasks done, total score, and do this. Time taken. If not for real, then I need to move this back. But before that, remember how many turns I took. Now I'm able to run this also with value false. It will tell me how much time something would take, or that it's impossible. I will compare a few best tasks and choose the best one. Program will be slower, but much better. Let's try 5 candidates, or maybe just 3, to make it still quite fast. It's this, not just 0th element, but this element. Time needed is that, but with false. Best of int max, comma, which? I don't know, something. Time needed tells me how many turns it took. For now I just minimize the number of turns. Why not? Later I will think about the score too, but now just the number of turns. Comma, which? Maybe TID. Else forbidden. Forbidden insert word. Task ID. Task.id. Then again do task, but this time for real. Fingers crossed. Second thing is TID. That's the beauty of programming. When you finally understand what is wrong, then quickly make that fix. Now you know, oh, this feature is ready. You run tests and we'll see in a moment. If not this, then task. TID. It should take more time, but I hope to see score better than 1 million. Then it's still wrong and you have a headache. That happens too. Also, I saw an interesting question 5 minutes ago. Well, nothing changed. So that's bad. Kunal Chand asked, what is the thing which you feel lacks or is a downside to live stream teaching? That's an interesting question. Live stream teaching, unless you prepare all the slides, you cannot cut something out. When I make a video, I can think a lot about what exactly to say. I could cut out some boring part, redo it. The plus is obviously that somebody can ask a question, but there are so many minuses. Imagine that you are preparing, I don't know, anything. Giving a presentation versus live versus recording it. I don't know. I think it's obvious what I'm talking about. Consider a few things. Best will be the best of them. Well, is it slower? It is not slower. Why is it not slower? Am I in correct file? pro2.cpp. Oh. That happens too. I run an incorrect program. Then I could waste half an hour looking at my program to understand what's going on. Over 1 million. And actually works faster. Might work faster because there might be fewer deadlocks, paths are shorter or something like that. Now I will find the best among 5 candidates. Best among 10 candidates. And this is that moment of satisfaction. What's my best score on E so far? 107. Can we beat that? 105, and this is with 50 arms. Can we do 100 arms? Do you work as software engineer freelance? There is FAQ in description. My job is basically teaching. Yeah, for 100 arms it wasn't that good. What about 75? It makes sense that 100 arms cause a lot of deadlocks. Well, I'm not doing amazing, but it is better than a moment ago. I will also see what happens if I allow this. 75 arms, fine. I turned back on, allowing to not get back to the start, but to continue a path, and it made the score worse. I'm still not satisfied with what is happening. Maybe it's time to run it on C or D. This is E. I will visualize everything. That should be some cool moment for you, because something will happen on the screen, not just in code. C and D. C and D are running. E is done. So let's submit. Which one? Again, some token exception, and I need to refresh. This was E. D is also computed, and this score is very bad for some reason. Strange. C is still being computed. Here, a lot of people stopped after 20. In here, this is a very short test, and I still have this undeadlocking things. Not that. I want a recent test. I think it's time to retract smarter. Don't you think? how to do it easiest. I can try to retract by a few steps and check with BFS how good it would be. Or I can... It's hard for me to run BFS from the target cell, because I don't know when I will be on every cell. I think that I started this implementation with some wrong assumptions. I wanted to do the whole task. Choose an arm, do the whole task. It might be better instead to do something possibly dangerous, which is... Why do you... Yeah, I have very stupid logic for expanding. I might want to move second by second, not just plan the whole thing. Okay, but this is stupid. Because it looks at Manhattan distance. I need an easier check. With my logic, it's impossible. Also, C was likely done with some bad score, because I have that if. That works well for maybe for one test, but not for the others. And once every some amount of time, I do this. Let's increase this to infinity and run C and D again. I will run this for you again and think out loud. Everybody's stuck? What's up with this? For sure, the logic of if I should retract or not is stupid. I have an idea. If I'm close to the target, then move there. What about that? My code is too long. I'm stupid or what? I can't find something in my code. Arm could estimate this. So that's the logic. I just compare Manhattan distance instead. Well, this. If you allow this special case, then look at the next goal, find the distance to that thing, BFS from current goal to next goal with the current turn. TMP is not -1, and ladies and gentlemen, this will be TMP is smaller equal stack size over 2. If this, then do that, otherwise retract. Next goal. If I have a stack of length 20 and I see that the goal is at most 10 moves away, move there, otherwise retract. I'm quite happy about that. BFS will return a path. Let's use this dot length. This is not 0. Well, if goal is equal next goal, then everything is fine. Int moves needed is 0. If goal is not next goal, moves needed is this dot length. But if it's equal to 0, it means that I didn't find it. Let's say that then it's some kind of infinity. If this is true, if it's nearby, then I don't need to retract, else retract. Not team P, moves needed. Length, size. Next thing I will add is, otherwise, not that I will retract to the very beginning, I will at every step of retracting check for this condition, if I may be nearby the goal and I can reach it. And I can experiment with this a little bit. Maybe it should be smaller, or minimum of this and something. D, 1 million points. It's bizarre how bad my solution is. It's still 5 million points. It got enough for like 6th place in the competition, but not even close to the winners. In the middle, people stopped finding new tasks. C is still being computed. Those numbers we see here are moment when, for the last time, something moved. The number of turns in the game is 200. Somebody stopped 12 moves before the end. Cool. Then apparently no new task was possible, but this 80 seems suspicious. Though it is possible. This is around 100. I don't like the fact that most of snakes are now standing still. Here, almost everybody theoretically moves until move 190. So, is it the right visualization? I see only 10 snakes moving. Online, on turn 100, only some snakes are moving. But here, this is d.out. Those are moments when they stopped. Seems like they got cut off by another snake. Yeah, they can be like next to each other, but this is the last useful move. I don't make moves for something that I don't finish a task. See, still computing. How long is the stream already? 2 hours and a half. I will spend 1 more hour today. Maybe we'll get back to this in a few days if I have time. I like such problems, but I must say it feels discouraging that I'm doing so badly. Not so badly, that I'm not doing the best. Just most of the time, winning seemed in my range. Like I could achieve that if I was lucky. Here, no. I don't understand that. I will run this again and again submit d.out and try to visualize that. If somebody has recently joined the stream, you can find problem statement, so you can read about what I'm doing in my GitHub repository. You can Google GitHub Errichto YouTube or see a link in the description, and it's here. Hashcode 2020 final round.pdf, this thing, in my GitHub. Yeah, but d.out, the same thing, all 100 arms were used, and they stopped working around 180. Create. This is line with around 200 characters. 200. This is 175. Okay, I must remember that visualizer doesn't show the final retracting to the goal. After I'm done getting the tasks, it thinks that I stop like that, I think. Visualizer had that back already. I knew about that. Yeah, here almost everybody lasts still 190 or so. So I hope that visualizer is buggy. Or see it's still going. Okay, better logic. By 2. What about divided by 4? If it's really nearby. That's first thing. The other, as I go back, I can continue this check. do this and then this, then break, because this is a good starting cell. Otherwise, move back by one cell. I'm still afraid that my approach I taken leads to nowhere, because I do task by task. I assign the whole task. While I know from at least one team in the top, Refinkers, it's another team from Poland, Warsaw, that they decided things second by second. Now this program is very, very slow, because every time I get back by one, I run a separate BFS. I could make some hack and here repeat this like 4 times. Maybe even 6. Should be 6 times faster. I know no coding, but I like the bear. Cool. If you want to participate in a similar competition, maybe not that similar, there is this contest. How is it called? Well, first, there's website, sealist.by, with a lot of competitions, and one of them lasts 3 months and is called Statue of Liberty. The name is stupid, but it's about finding a set of numbers such that their power, the sum of their powers, satisfies something. Well, it isn't that cool in terms of visualization, but it's much easier to approach, and this is how another optimization problem looks like. You can try a bunch of numbers and you need to find as good set as you can, and you can run the program on your computer for like 10 hours, 1 month. But first you need to implement any program for that. I will paste this in the chat if somebody wants to take a look. The website is called Al Zimmerman's Programming Contests. T was computed, and score isn't better. I feel very discouraged. I don't know. I don't need this one as well. As I said, I think my solution is going nowhere. Oh, C is done. Not a great score though. Let's visualize it. At least I'm not getting wrong answers. The map is bigger. This is why it took me so much to compute C, because every BFS goes through a big part of the grid. In this test, robots almost don't collide with each other. What did ping do? But it's very important to choose good tasks. And right now I'm deciding, looking only at total time it will take. Instead, it should be, the score should matter too. Ping, what did you do? Well, it keeps moving up, so isn't that stupid? At the very beginning, something strange happened. Oh, pink tried to avoid orange, I think. Pink moves to the left. I see goal, target cell for pink over here. Then next target cell is there. Pink should retract. When I click step forward, it's a bit faster, but it shouldn't retract fully. Well, the code that for which this is the output, it either retracts all the way or nothing at all. I'm still looking at pink. Can I increase? I can increase it. Actually, pink is in bottom right. This is more like purple. It's bad that pink moved all the way down and then moves up. Where does it go? There? Why? It's a bit hard to move around. Let's wait a moment. Hello, Marco Shiva. I have no idea why pink moved like that. Also, for a long time, I didn't see YouTube chat. I need to refresh. What does second by second even mean? For in every second, every turn, to decide about what should happen. Maybe pink decided like that. I don't know. I didn't see any target cell over there at the bottom. What's the time allowed per turn? I don't get that, but time is turn. Yeah. I think I will finish the stream in a moment. My program doesn't work very well, and I think I would need to rewrite it from scratch. Because my very first assumption will be that I will choose the robot that finishes first among everybody that is still working, and I will choose some task for him. And it doesn't work. I mean, some task will be chosen, and then a big part of the grid will be forbidden for a long time. So while I think this 5 million points is easy to get, at least doable in 4 hours, my approach doesn't seem to work better to get like 6 million. My score is still enough just for the 6th place. Nowhere near this. 5.1. What can I do? Yeah, so that would be it for today, I think. Should I do anything more with this? Any simple thing I wanted? There are also things like change the number of change mounting points where we start, but it seems so unimportant. What's the timeout per turn in milliseconds? I run this on my own computer. I can run this, I have a test file. This is a test file. It describes the tasks, where are mounting points, how many, every task is here one line. It's a sequence of coordinates of points. And If I have very powerful computer, I mean, I can even run this in parallel on multiple threads. Change your approach. I'm not going to today rewrite this from scratch. That would take a lot of time. So I think this is it. Nothing amazing. Rethinkers have a very nice score, so close to 7 million. Their approach is roughly to, in every second they decide what to do. I will draw this. If you are a snake, I know this because I talked with them about it. If this is a snake, this is mounting point, and now your next target is, let's say, here. This is target. Then what they do is they run BFS between target and this current snake, and they find a closest point. So they retract to that point. And in their solution, and from this moment they will keep going. In their solution, a big issue is what if there are deadlocks? Because, as I said, it's not that they plan the whole path. They don't know what a snake will do next. Maybe it will be stuck. Maybe it cannot get to the next target. So they have some extra things like once every some number of turns, everybody gets back to 0. At least it was useful in test E. And if you're stuck because some other snake blocks you, then wait or retract a little bit, stuff like that. And versus my logic was just to think, what is the distance, BFS distance from this to that? If it's close, then move there. And a moment before, I had something even more stupid. I just compared this point or this point. I checked which one is closer to the target. But this doesn't consider at all what if there is some other snake here. Then I need to move around it. If I am white snake, then I can move like that to target. But here it should be best to retract to, I think, remove all of that. Retract up to here, maybe even down to 0. And now move over there. We had this idea that maybe if grids were smaller or with some help of a computer, a human would do this problem nicely. But grids were too big. Who won? You can check that here. Past Glory, it's team with Gennady Kortkevich. All three teams, those teams, they have somebody very strong in competitive programming. Actually, fourth team as well. There is also here some team with very strong people in optimization problems with Psycho, WLEITE, I don't know how to pronounce that, Ulite, and Katanic, if I remember correctly. Those are three very good people in Topcoder marathons, in Kaggle, in optimization problems in general, but this was a very short contest, not really a good fit for them. Yeah, so I'm ending this stream. I hope you all have a nice evening or night, whatever your time zone is, maybe a whole day. I'm going to sleep soon because it's close to 10 p.m. Whenever I plan new streams, you'll find them on twitch.tv/Errichto. I have a schedule here. Usually it's empty, but from time to time, once every few months, I have more time and then I would stream a few times a week. Just you can follow me on Twitch and then from time to time check this out. But also feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channels, Errichto and Errichto 2. Here currently in April I do a lot of LeetCode problems, but after that this 30-day contest will be done. In May for sure I will rest a little bit from LeetCode. because now it gets boring. What now? 25th problem. I already recorded today 26th. So maybe some competitive programming. And Code Jam round 2 and then round 3 are approaching. I need to train for that. So what about maybe doing some AdCoder contests or past Code Jam contests? Something like that. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. You're all welcome. Do a stream tomorrow again, please. I'm not planning to. You know, weekends are better. People have more time, including me. So that's everything. Thank you everybody for watching, and see you sometime in the future or just in my videos on YouTube. Bye. Stream doesn't want to stop.